you considered selling your stuff on eBay but just don't have the time or experience to do it yourself? There are trading assistants that can help. Keith Wagner is with I Sold It on eBay, and he is back to explain how you can find a trading assistant. And my first question is, can these trading assistants help me manage my personal life, too?
Well, not many of them can. Yeah, it doesn't work that way. I'm afraid not.
What is a trading assistant?
Well, a trading assistant is really just an experienced seller on eBay who will help you sell your things on eBay for a fee. Okay. And they usually work out of their home. And so you usually hear about them word of mouth or sometimes search for them on the Internet. But they're there to help you. Now, there's another designation that eBay gives that sometimes confuses people called a trading post.
Okay, and what's that?
Well, an eBay trading post is like an assistant, but they have an established place of business, a storefront.
So I Sold It on eBay would be a trading post?
Exactly.
Okay.
They have a store with regular business hours. You don't have to make an appointment. You can just show up during business hours, drop off your item, and they'll sell it for you for a fee.
But you don't have trading assistants?
No, it's really kind of a more professional level of a trading assistant.
Okay.
Where the trading assistant is usually an individual working out of their home. The trading post is a place of business where you go and leave your stuff with a group of people.
So you think the idea of having an assistant isn't a bad one?
Not a bad one.
Okay.
In a lot of aspects of life.
Yeah, why?
Well, I think that, one of the reasons people use a trading assistant or a trading post is that it just takes the work out of it. Sometimes they don't know how to sell on eBay, but even if they know how, there's still a lot of work and a lot of steps.
I would not know what to do, but I've got a whole lot of stuff that I'd like to get rid of in my house. So I think that could bring some value.
Oh, yeah.
How?
And so that's probably the major reason. However, there's a couple other reasons. One is usually a trading assistant is much more experienced. And their reputation on eBay and their experience can help you get more for your item.
All right, we just saw a couple of symbols on the screen there. Explain what that is, because you can find that when you're shopping on eBay.
You absolutely
You want to look for these symbols. Let's put that up again if we can, please, David. And just show everybody this is what you look for.
You can look for these logos on listings on eBay. When you find an item on an eBay, you can, sellers will use these listings in their advertising and in their auctions. Also, if you go to a trading post, if you go to a store, a drop-off store, you'll see these logos on the door.
Okay.
So you can look for these as you walk in to see if they've met eBay's qualifications to use these designations.
All right, let's talk about the qualifications.
Okay.
Because you do go a step further and talk about the feedback rating at least.
Yeah. These designations are not ones you just use. You have to actually earn them from eBay. So eBay requires you to do certain things. For a trading assistant, you have to have been in business for 3 months and sold at least 10 items. You have to have a feedback score of 100, and of that, 97% of that has to be positive. Now, we're looking at actually a feedback screen here, and you can see that in every transaction, buyers and sellers leave each other feedback. You can leave positive feedback, neutral feedback, or negative feedback. And then the total amount of feedback that you've received is the top number there, the 4,600, whatever that is.
Okay.
And then below that, it shows a percentage that was left that was positive. That tells you how credible that seller is.
I see.
And what their reputation is on eBay.
Or at least that assistant. What how credible the assistant is.
Yeah, the assistant or whoever it is. Everybody has a feedback score on eBay.
Okay.
And if you're looking specifically at a trading assistant score, you want to know that. You want to know what is their reputation on eBay, because how they treat people on eBay is probably how they're going to treat you.
Yeah. All right. So let's run down everything, because this can get a little bit confusing and intimidating. What should we look for when selecting an assistant?
Well, the first thing is the feedback score.
Okay.
I mean, always look at that to find out how good their reputation is on eBay. The better the feedback score, the more aggressively people will bid. Secondly, look to see if they're part of a chain or a brand or a national franchise, because that brand name, that identity on eBay also attracts more visitors to those auctions and establishes more credibility.
Okay. All right.
And then the third thing you want to do is you want to see how long have they been in business. You don't want to necessarily deal with somebody who's just getting started. Deal with somebody who's been there for a while.
Experience,
has more track record, a longer level of experience. Absolutely. And then if you're going to leave your items with them, you want to know that those are going to be safe. So you're going to ask if they have insurance.
Okay.
And you want to make sure that their insurance covers your item if something should happen. If it's a really valuable item, you're going to want to make sure that they have a safe that they can keep in it as well.
Right. And then a high sell-through?
Absolutely. One of the things that a lot of people don't know to ask, but you should ask a trading assistant before you do business with them, is what percentage of their items actually sell on eBay. A lot of people
and for how much? Over the asking price.
A lot of people on eBay, they only sell 50% of the items that they put on eBay. Well, I wouldn't use somebody that wasn't selling 80 to 90% of their items. You don't want somebody who's just going to list your item on eBay. You want somebody who's going to actually sell it for you.
All right, and there's one final thing to look for there, professional listings.
Yeah, take a look. Finally, ask them to show you some of their listings. Look at their listings. Look at the quality of the layout, the photos, the description, and see if that's somebody that you would be interested in doing business with. And if you'd be interested in buying from them, then you can feel pretty comfortable letting them sell your item.
All right, most important question of the day. If you could write an anonymous postcard, what would you write?
You know, I've got one, but I can't tell you because then it wouldn't be anonymous.
All right, Keith. Thank you so much. Good advice for us this morning. For more information about I Sold It, you can call 1-877-I-SOLD-IT or log on to isolditdfw.com. Gary?